What's going on, everyone? It is your boy Ernest here, aka ERA, aka the #1 Miami Heat fan. I'm here to talk to you guys about our team, the Miami Heat. I'm ready, I'm rocking. I got the Jimmy Buckets jersey. I'm in the Miami Heat room layer. Guys, before we continue, why don't you go ahead and show me some love? Hit that subscribe button, like this, share, comment, show me your love, even show me your hate. I don't care. But what I want to talk about right now is obviously the Miami Heat. Guys, we left off 2020 on a beautiful note. The Eastern Conference champions. Nobody thought we could do it. Everybody doubted us. Well, everyone except true Miami Heat fans. Obviously myself, I called it last year, but nobody believed me. Doesn't matter. What matters is the Miami Heat made that dream a reality. We took it to the limit, took it to the Lakers, but everybody knew we were going to lose. Everybody thought we were going to get swept, but we took them to 6 games. We left 2020 on honestly a high note. And I think a lot of people thought in 2021 we were going to continue that momentum. Unfortunately, it hasn't gone that way. Right now, our Miami Heat sit at 14-17, the first 31 games of the season. We are currently 10th in the Eastern Conference right now, but even though things look a little bleak right now, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I really think that we can make a turnaround. Now, let's remember, the beginning of the season, a lot of our players were held out with COVID. You had guys like Jimmy Butler missed 13 games. You had Goran Dragic only played 17 games this season because of COVID and because of injuries. Bam Adebayo has been rocking the flagship as our leader, but let's be honest, he's really not the #1 guy. We go as far as Jimmy Buckets takes us. All right, so I want to go ahead and go for a few topics. First and foremost, a lot of these analysts from ESPN, a lot of these analysts from Fox Sports are calling our 2020 season a fluke. And even though a lot of people do see it that way because of how we're doing right now, you guys have to understand something. The Miami Heat was not a fluke in 2020. We took shots from some of the best teams in the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Boston Celtics. We took our best shots from Indiana Pacers. We even took the Los Angeles Lakers to the limit. The Lakers with LeBron, with AD, and us being injured without Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic, we took them to 6 games. What's happening right now, honestly, guys, is a lack of chemistry at this point. We lost some players in the offseason. We lost Derrick Jones Jr. We lost Jay Crowder. A lot of people don't see how beneficial Jay Crowder was to this team. Something we've had struggling all season is that guy playing next to Bam Adebayo. And yeah, Kelly Olynyk has had some great games, but I don't think he's the perfect fit as the starting power forward. Jay Crowder was the absolute perfect fit. So now we're trying to find our rhythm. And if you guys notice, we're the team in the NBA with the absolute most lineup changes in the starting unit because Eric Spoelstra is trying to figure this out. We had it figured out in the playoffs last year. We had our rotation down pat. This year, we got to get it together. So no, 2020 was absolutely not a fluke. Another thing I want to address, being the fact that we're 14-17, being the fact that we're 10th seed in the Eastern Conference, guys, you have to remember the Eastern Conference, I don't want to call weak, but it's not as strong as the West. Because in reality, we're only 2 games down from the 4th seed. Another winning streak that we had, which we had a 4-game winning streak a few weeks ago, we hit another winning streak like that, bam, we're back in the hunt. Now, even though we might be back in the hunt, we're competing against some of the top tier teams in the East. You got teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Boston Celtics. They're the big 3. So we need to figure out a way to get over that hump and to get to them. So how do we do that? Is it by making a trade? Maybe. But it's got to be the right trade. You see, we were going after James Harden in the beginning of the season, but they wanted the world. The Houston Rockets, they wanted everything. So we really couldn't give them that because we have a lot of up-and-coming young stars. You got Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, Precious Achiuwa. These are 4 guys that the Miami Heat can saddle their future to. But at what cost are you going to hold your future? Because a lot of people think, hey, you're not doing that great this season. Trade them all. I say no. I say we experiment. this 2021 season. We go as far as this team can take us. Because in reality, guys, we have a lot of expiring contracts coming this year. And we can really make a push in the offseason. You see, in the 2020 offseason, I feel that we were going so hard for Giannis. I feel that we were holding so much back for Giannis that we let certain people go. We could have given an amazing contract to a player like Danilo Gallinari. We could have gone strong and re-signed Jay Crowder to bring him back in this team. But we didn't want to sign anybody to a contract over one season. It was really tough. The Heat was going all in on Giannis, and then he ended up re-signing with Milwaukee. So what do? You adapt. You try to make it work. We let Jay Crowder go. We gave that ridiculous contract to Myers Leonard. I still don't know why to this day. Guys, I'm one of the biggest Miami Heat supporters. I researched the team. I look at everything. When I saw that contract for a 2-year deal worth $10 million with the second year being a team option, my jaw dropped. I didn't get it. But that was obviously because Jay Crowder wanted a longer deal. I respect that. I understand that. I know Miami offered him a 1-year deal worth $13 million. He rejected it. Hey, at the end of the day, you got to go grab that bag. And that's what Jay Crowder did. We gave that money to Myers Leonard. Boom! He's done for the season. Which sucks. But as the Miami Heat does, you adapt and you move forward. This 2021 team can be as special as we were last year. Guys, Dragic still has not made his return. When Goran Dragic comes back to that lineup, it's going to be trouble for a lot of the teams in the East. We are going to make another push, all right? And you also have to remember, guys, that the season ended in October and came right back in December, okay? Some of these guys need to get their feet under their legs. They have to continue to push. They need time. Jimmy Butler proved it. He was out for 13 days. Ever since he's been back, he has shown why people were calling him an actual elite player. I mean, a lot of people don't feel that Jimmy Butler's elite. I do. When you take a team like the Los Angeles Lakers to 6 games when everybody knows that you're supposed to be swept, it really says something about you. Okay? So moving on to the next topic. What do we do towards the off season? What's the plans? What's the goals? Honestly, guys, I say we ride 2021. We do the absolute best we can, and we go with the same idea, but with a different player. Guys, Kawhi Leonard is a free agent this offseason. Let me say that name again. Let me let you register that. Think for a second. Kawhi Leonard. The man that single-handedly took the Toronto Raptors to the 2019 NBA Finals and won. This is a guy that has proven that he is one of the most dominant players in the NBA. And honestly, guys, I don't think that he's 100% happy in the Clippers. I mean, yeah, he's home. I'm sure there's some good times. But after what happened last season in the playoffs, and I mean, they're doing okay now, but let's say they don't make it to the Western Finals again. Let's say they don't make it to the NBA Finals. Let's say whatever you want. But if the Clippers do not go as far as people expect them to, I can see Kawhi making a jump and going somewhere else. Why not us, baby? Jimmy Buckets, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Kawhi Leonard. Now, I understand currently we have about $27 million in cap space for this upcoming free agency. So instead of going swinging for the fences for a guy like Kawhi, in which you have to make a couple trades, open up the cap space, make it work. I mean, that's Andy Ellicksberg's job, not mine, but he can make that happen. But instead of doing that, we can use that $27 million, scatter around, get a couple good players, which is fine and dandy. But the point is, you want to win. With a team like the Brooklyn Nets getting the big three, having Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, we all know they're the favorites. We know that. So how do you beat a team like that? I mean, you obviously really can't match them at this point. So in this offseason, you go for a guy like Kawhi and you try to make it work. That should be plan A. this offseason for the Miami Heat. But that's the end of this season's problem. The current season and what we're doing right now, I think we should stay the course. Because yeah, we're not doing so great, but we're right there. There's still there's 72 games this season, so there's still 41 games left to play. We can make a lot of noise. I mean, we were 5th seed last year. Even though we were in the bubble, there wasn't fans, it was different. The Miami Heat are still that same gritty team. Now, I get it. You guys watch First Take. You guys watch Fox Sports. You're seeing guys like Colin Cowherd. You're seeing guys like Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman. You're seeing guys like Shannon Sharp. You're seeing all these guys saying how the Miami Heat just don't have it anymore. They're a fluke. And a lot of you, you listen to that stuff and you go with it and you believe it. But I'll tell you guys right now, the Miami Heat is not a team that's just going to lay down and die. Jimmy Buckets, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, Kelly Olynyk, Andre Iguodala, Precious Achiuwa, Avery Bradley. They're not going to let us go down like that. So let's talk about some of these players. Bam Adebayo, career year. Signed the max extension this offseason. He's averaging 19.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, close to 6 assists a game, a block shot, a steal a game. He is proving that he is getting better and better each year. He's proven that he can be possibly our number 1 guy in the next couple of years. But then you have his big brother, Jimmy Buckets, who I think is having one of his best seasons ever. He's averaging close to 20 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, 7.5 assists, and 2 steals a game. That's crazy good numbers. Now, the only reason why he's not going to be an MVP candidate, obviously, is because the Heat's record's not that great and because he's not averaging 25, 26 a game, which I get. I understand. But you got Tyler Hero, his second season, averaging 17 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal. He's proving that he's getting better and better. Even Duncan Robinson, who's not having, I want to say, his best year. Last year, he was hitting 3-pointers from everywhere. But this season, it's not so great, but he's still averaging 13 points a game. You got Kendrick Nunn, who fell off the world last season. He started as a potential Rookie of the Year candidate. Then he just dropped off in the playoffs, dropped off out of rotation. Because when they went back to the bubble, he didn't start with them. So he kind of lost his footing. This season, he wasn't starting. As soon as Dragic goes down, boom, he shows everybody why. He was a candidate for Rookie of the Year last year. He is playing at that level, averaging 14 points. Then you got a guy like Kelly Olynyk. I'm not saying that I'm not a fan of his. He's a gritty, hard, tough player. Might not be the best option as their starting power forward, but at 10 points a game, 5 rebounds, it's pretty awesome. Iguodala's doing his thing. Avery Bradley, even though he hasn't played a lot, he still averages 8 points a game. You got this new kid, Max Strus, who's pretty much the second coming of Duncan Robinson. So now you got 3 fire-sure starters at 3-point shooting with Hero, Strus, and Robinson. This team has it. Now it's Eric Spoelstra's job to put it together. Just because we're not starting off great doesn't mean we can't end great, guys. This is not a sprint, it is a marathon. And the reason why I feel that we're not doing 100%, yeah, injuries and stuff like that, but it's because the team is going to take it to the limit the second half of the season. I really feel that. I really feel that they're holding Dragic. They're not rushing him to make his comeback. I mean, when you're in the 10th seed and you're only down 2 games to make it to the 4th seed, you can take your time with that. Because once the Dragon returns, we're going to be on another level. It's crazy that Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Goran Dragic this year have played a total of 3 games. That's insane. Think about that for a second, guys. So before all of you start to hate, before all of you start to call the Miami Heat flukes, before all of you think that we cannot do it, remember those little facts and remember one thing. We were doubted. People put us down 2020. Nobody believes we can do it. I was one of the ones that thought we could. And I am here 1 year later telling you guys the same thing. The Miami Heat will be back in the 2021 playoffs. We will make it far in the playoffs. I could see us hit the Eastern Conference Finals again. Now there's 3 or 4 teams we need to look at. Not with fear, but to look at them to be ready. The 76ers, the Boston Celtics, the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, that's pretty much the teams that you're looking at. Like, okay, let's go. I strongly feel that. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a dogfight. But as a Miami Heat fan, I wouldn't have it any other way. So, guys, that is pretty much my feelings about our team. I didn't want to make this video too long, but pretty much at the end of the day, I want to let you guys know how I feel, and I want to hear from you. What do you guys think? Do you think 2020 was a fluke? Do you think that we're going to be bottom of the tier in the Eastern Conference, maybe in the playoffs? Or do you feel that we need to make a trade? I mean, guys, Bradley Beal's out there. Victor Oladipo's out there. You got players that are not so happy that we can bring them in and make a run. But do you really want to damage that chemistry halfway of the season? Because I think when Goran Dragic comes back and he's 100%, we're going to make a run. Guys, I want to thank you so much for taking the opportunity to listen. I want to thank you so much for giving me your time. Guys, again, remember, help me grow this page. Hit the like button, share, comment, show me your love. Hell, show me your hate. I don't care. But most importantly, whether you want to hate or show love, hit that subscribe button. Help your brother out. And until next time,